from Caesars, Southern Indiana, welcome to the 2025 Derby City Classic. All right, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. This is the 26th edition of the Pocket Billiards All-Around Championship, and it's most proudly sponsored by Diamond Billiard Products, Simonis Cloth, and Aramuth. We'd also like to recognize our great associate sponsors from Master Chalk, Digital Pool, Outsville, and our terrific tournament direction team from Bad Boys Billiards Productions. Something new this year at Derby. We've expanded to 10 days. On that 10th day, which will be this Sunday, it's going to be Championship Sunday, and that means that all 3 divisions will be decided on that day, along with the master of the table. We've already got 1 set of finalists coming through on the bank division last night. Both now with a loss will have only 1 match. It's going to be Fedor Gorst and Tony Chohan for the bank pool title on Sunday. Congratulations to both of them for getting this far. We also want to thank all of you for helping to make the Derby City Classic one of the most popular and prestigious events on the pool calendar. It's certainly the most exciting, so thank you all for that. And right now, we're going to jump into the 9-ball division for a match or so. I'd like to make sure everybody understands, too, that this 9-ball discipline is a WNT event. And as a result, the players will be allowed to use jump cues in the 9-ball division only. This is round number 1. 500 players began. They're all still here. So let's get underway with player introductions. From St. Augustine, Germany, this gentleman's a former world team champion, and he's a 2-time WNT ranking event winner. Sponsored by Q-Tech, CPBA, Moray, TP Chalk, and The Stroke. Would you please welcome MORITZ NEUHAUSEN. Thank you. His opponents from Davao City in the Republic of the Philippines. He's the 2020 Derby City 9-ball champion. He also holds a Bigfoot 10-ball championship here at the Derby City. Sponsored by ATG LLC, Omega, and Q Lees. He's known as the Slayer. Please welcome VANN CORTEZA. Okay, gentlemen, good luck to you. 30-second shot clock, cue ball fouls only, rack your own. Going to send it upstairs to the comm box to Mark Wilson and his guest, Chance Rosic. Go ahead, Mark.
I love the smell of chalk dust in the morning. Welcome, pool fans everywhere. World-class 9-ball from the 26th Annual Derby City Classic. I'm Mark Wilson. Here in the booth today is Chance Rosic. Glad to have you here, Chance. And what are your opening thoughts?
We got a really good matchup here. VANN CORTEZA is one of the old guard, been playing outstanding pool for years. Fargo 819, I believe. And MORITZ is one of the new upcomings with an 806 and has been a runner-up and a champion on 2 or 3 events. So this should be a very, very good first-round match.
Yeah, the old, steady, consistent VANN CORTEZA has won the leg. We're playing a rack to 9-ball on the spot using the Outsville racking template. Neuhausen, 21 years old, made quite a name for himself in the last couple of years. He's finished very, very high. I know he's been runner-up a couple of the matches that I've broadcast in big events, International Open and U.S. Open.
And the World Cup of Pool, he was runner-up.
VANN's sizing up the 1 ball. I don't know if he can make it in the side. He's down. I think he'd like to shoot it in the corner just because it gives him so much more cue ball control. But
yeah, that's what I was thinking, is it was going to try to shoot it in the corner. It'll roll forward for the 2, but he might have to cut it and come around.
Gorgeous shot there.
Nice. Good speed. The only problem with this rack is that 6, 8, 9. I'd like to get a good position on those, or maybe nibble one of them out.
They're using a break box. You can see it drawn on the table.
They were literally finishing drawing that as the players came to the table.
Right now, Levan is assessing how he wants to play the 6 ball. It's not easy to comfortably break it out, but also it's not easy to play position on.
Especially with where the 5 is. Okay, interesting.
I like the way he went after this. Now he can go right into the 8-6.
Is he on the right side of that angle, though?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's going to cut it in the corner. Okay, that makes more sense.
Now, one of these things, you're not sure what you're going to get out of it.
Right.
The 6 can easily go to a side rail here. Played it with a nice speed. Good job. Loosened up the 6. Going to have a little back cut into the side. Not the easiest of shots, but from the predicament that he was in, this is about as good as you could really hope for.
Yes, sir. He's got it out, and he's got an opportunity.
Look at that speed control.
That is pretty.
Little draw shot here. No, he's following. He's going to go 2 cushions. Oh, 1 cushion.
Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking 2 cushions. That would be a lot of time in no man's land. And nice way to open up. Win the leg, break and run out.
That does make the game easier.
Sends quite a message. It puts a lot of pressure on your opponent, too.
What I was going to say, it's nice to get that first win and get the blood flowing and get that W up.
When you talk about winning a pool match, it's not based on the score, but it's doing things that contribute to the score. 1, winning the lag. 2, a successful break. 3, now you get to run 9 balls. You kind of got the nerves and the feel of the table and the lights. And the other guy's got 1 bad lag and hasn't been to the table. Now, if you win this second game, then you really get some pressure on, where you start to, hey, things are slipping away. And so
Yes, sir.
it's minimizing unforced errors, not scratching on the break, that type of thing.
Until you get that first game under your belt, the pressure just keeps notching up each time your opponent gets one more.
Now, Neuhausen does have the experience of playing high-level pool. He plays the Pro, Euro Tour, and he's comfortable. So he plays like a 45-year-old in a 21-year-old's body.
Yes, he does.
Okay, winner break format, cut break. And he didn't make anything, but he also didn't leave anything. So
Yeah,
likely
won
to see a
second.
push out.
He won second prize and got a good defense there. But you can push. And you want to push to a position that you're comfortable with, but you don't think your opponent will want to take. And now you can push to a jump shot because they are legal this year. I think it's because of the WNT, and I think it's also to help speed up the play. We ran so long last year.
Mm-hmm. I know, I get a kick out of it. They said, we're adding a day this year. Well, I got news for you. We've added a day the last 2 years. You
Yes,
just
we-
didn't have it on the calendar.
Exactly.
But this way, at least it's measured out.
People will just plan their flight a little later instead
Right.
of having to reschedule.
The last 2 years, 10 a.m. on Sunday morning when it was due to finish Saturday night. So
Yep.
this year, we've at least got a structure to it.
Yes, sir.
All the finals will take place on that last Sunday. Is he going to cross this? I think he's trying to play it like a one-pocket save.
Yeah.
No, he was. Oh my goodness! I can't believe that he had an open look at that ball.
Yeah, I thought he would have left him behind the 9 a little more. Moritz would have left him behind the 9.
You seldom see that where someone pushes out to an open ball. I just assumed he was hooked.
Yeah, I would have thought so too. Now, do you play? Yeah, I would play safe here. I would try and
Yeah, I don't
Push
know.
that one.
If we can grab the overhead real quick. So he's going to look to play the 1 ball down here and let the cue ball just filter out here to the center
Exactly.
of the table.
That's exactly what I was thinking. He went a little farther back across with the
Looked
cue, but
great.
same technique.
Yeah, use those 3 balls right here as blockers.
Yes, sir. I think Levan can get behind the 9 and kick at that 1. If he can hold it there, might get a good defense out of it.
That's tough from there. He's got to really swerve it to go be around the 9. So now he's going to go 2 cushions to get
he's
it.
going the other way. Okay.
And that's dangerous too. He's
Yes,
going to have
it
to
is.
warp it in there with draw. Okay.
Wow. Good hit. And going to get it. Oh, I thought he was going to get a little roll there. Still, he got a good defense out of it.
All right. Moritz, grab your jump cue.
If you make a good hit, you got a good shot of getting a defense. What, 30% of the time? Is that what you teach us?
20% of the time, well, when you hit a ball, yeah. 20% of the time you're going to get a backdoor safety.
That I remembered 30. I was hopeful.
Okay. Well, I mean, no, 4 to 6% of the time you're going to luck it in if you hit it hard. So
There you go.
You got that going too. He looks like he wants to try to play this cross side. No, he's smartly going to hit the lower half of the 1 ball and try to put the cue ball down on the end rail behind the 3. Full ball jump, though. You can get it up and down pretty quick. Okay, so the cue ball didn't travel as much as he thought.
Yeah, he hit it a little fuller than I think he wanted to. He hit it a little lower on the right side of the 1 ball.
Lee Vann is kind of a quiet, unassuming guy, but steady, just very steady, consistent. His pattern play, meaning economy of cue ball motion, his routes that he chooses, good execution. I mean, 819, that's no joke.
No, it is not.
You are world class, and you can't fake that.
No, and he's been doing it for a very, very long time.
Right.
How long has he been on the tour?
Well, he's 45, and he's been playing, professional pool since his teens. So there's, up until there's intermittent tours or tour, but
Yep.
he's been around. He's not a first timer.
No. Nice leave to the window there between the 4 and 9. Hard to tell the numbers from up here, sorry, or the colors from up here, folks. I don't believe he wanted that rub. Should be still okay, though. Just leaves it on the rail, makes it a little tougher. Can't control the cue ball with all the ball.
Right. Like to float the cue ball just to the center of the table, no further. Wants to have a little angle, come across for the 6. Gorgeous. Got just a little flat on this Chance. He's going to have to power up now.
Yep.
Doable, but if he could have stopped a foot shorter, it would have played just a little hint easier.
Oh, yeah. He can either, I think he's going to go power forward 2 rails. Is that what he's doing?
No, stun across.
He is? Okay. Looks like he was hitting high on the cue ball.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. Good
the
job.
short track.
You've done this a time or two. Good job.
Yes, I have.
I got to get used to this view from up here to get my angles and what they're shooting.
It makes you such a better player when you watch these guys, because you get so used to just looking at the angles or what they're thinking about. It's amazing. And I learned that truly when ACCUSTATS first came out, the actual statistical part of it. Pat used to hire us to produce, stats for these matches. And you can't chit-chat when you're watching them, but it taught you so much about what they're thinking and how they play. It was invaluable, and it's kind of like paying to go to college.
I imagine so, because you're having to figure out if that shot was what they intended or if it was a defensive or if they just missed. That's kind of tough to read their mind just based on how they hit it.
And then what their thought process is, and sometimes they're playing position for a pre-planned safety, and you had to ascertain that. Or was it just a random he
hit it poorly and got in a bad position?
Exactly.
Yeah, but like you said, if you're playing for the defense, and he was
really
successful.
Really helped my game. And anybody listening that's interested in how you would produce ACCUSTATS, you can just go to Accu-Stats. The dash is very important because there's a different outfit. Accu-Stats and go to click on library, and it will have examples of how to calculate your own ACCUSTATS TPA, which would be far the most complete set of stats that you'd ever find. It's actually the batting average of pool. Lee Vann captures that rack and leads 2-0. Race to 9. Pat taught me a lot from gathering those stats. One thing that's really interesting, the person that wins the first rack of a set goes on to win that set 56.4%.
Wow.
Yeah. So that first break, and these elite players like this, they can break a run out 30%. So if you win that lag, 3 times out of 10, you're ahead 1-0. 3 times out of 10, you're 56.4, and you don't have to gunfight with someone that's your equal.
Exactly. You get that like the first game, second game, because you ran a couple. It makes a huge difference. 56.4 doesn't sound like a lot, but it is.
Well, then you're 43.6 if you don't get it. You know, so
exactly.
Which do you want?
I'm going to choose that 56.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very enlightening. And then the other part is, unforced errors dictate the outcome of the match. Both guys are great shot makers. They're pro players. So breaking and running out where you don't have to gunfight every rack, yeah, that's a big deal. That's why doing something productive from the break.
A lot less mental stress when you're not having to gunfight, when you're just shooting balls, pocketing, moving forward.
The other thing, this is really enlightening, it's the person that makes the most total balls wins any game of pool long term. So don't tell me the stats or anything. Just say, well, Chance made 53 balls and Mark, you made 46. Chance is going to win that set, high 80, 90% ratio. It's just a huge deal.
I don't remember if it was last year, but for the first time ever watching some of these matches, I believe it might have been the Bigfoot, one of the players actually pocketed more than the other one and lost. But both of them shot like a TPA of 900. And it probably wasn't a 6 or 7 balls difference. But that's one of the very few times I've ever seen that.
Right. It will happen on occasion, but it's an aberration.
Exactly.
If you go back and chart over a bunch of them, just don't even tell me. Just tell me who made the most balls, and I'll bet that guy won.
Okay, that was an example of a push out where he tied something up. So hopefully he will get back to the table. So he didn't think he'd get in a good position that he would get it back from Moritz. So he went in and buried the 2 and let him try and figure out how to get the table worked.
Whenever you push out, if you get yourself back to the table one time, it was a good push out.
Exactly.
If you ever lose from your push out, it was a horrible push out. Just saying,
Yeah.
you can't push out the shots. Neuhausen knows the safeties and the offense both.
Yep. The only one that really surprises me with his push-outs is Shane Van Boning. He pushes to some oddball positions that I wouldn't think anybody would push to, and it's because he thinks he can make it, or he can play the defense.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else kind of goes, what? And lets him have it back.
Neuhausen looking to play safe here, I believe. Try to bank it down by the 2. Maybe. No, he was playing off. Okay. It's not going to be an easy safety from here.
No, it's not.
I guess he's mainly just playing the cue ball down behind the 8 and not worry about getting separation. Maybe he's playing the 7. He might be playing he is playing the 7. What am I talking about? Nice shot.
That was very nice.
Very good. Wow. He's created something from very little. 2 good shots. A forceful stun to just move the cue ball a diamond and a half. Very well played, and that's what I was saying. He's got experience beyond his years for sure, playing high-level pool.
He's been shooting very well here. Maybe could have rolled a little farther be able to stay on the 6 easier, but he can come 3 rails out for the 6 if he wants to.
He'll be a stun to the end rail.
Yeah, he can just drop to the end rail, yep.
Yeah, 3 rails, boy, you'd really have to wallop that ball, and it can get away from you so easy. Here, you're even there. Look how hard he had to hit it. The cue ball was bouncing. That's why he ended up settling on the side cushion. I love the way he locks in on these shots. He takes his time. You can't just hit it at the pocket. You have to hit it for the heart of the pocket. And when your heart rate gets up, that's when you start to cut corners on that. It just won't work. And you see how he really takes his time and settles in. He really wants to drain this right in the heart of the pocket.
Yep.
Also bolsters your confidence when you play precise like that. Nice tempo. Neuhausen has worked these balls in such a way that you and I would feel good from here.
Yes. I like this 2-ball out that he has, yes.
So Neuhausen demonstrated some really good shot making and a pretty classy billiard on the 7 there that he calculated and played for, then executed. Got positioned on the secondary object ball, the 2-ball.
Very
So,
nice.
hey, now VANN made a terrible push out, right? Because he lost from his push out.
Yep. Well, he's made a tough situation into a good out.
I wouldn't fault him too bad. And
No.
VANN really did a good job getting that 2-ball tucked away, and then but that 7-ball ended up costing him.
Yep, just was sitting pretty enough that he could spin into it.
And he did it so comfortably, and at the end I could just see, oh, he's totally calculated all this.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. 2-1.
One thing they're being a little more sticky about this year is entire cue ball has to be in the box. Last year, if the base of the ball was in, they were not complaining. But this year, the entire ball.
Yeah, I grew up base of the ball. I don't think it matters much, but
Yeah.
anyway, whatever the rule is fine with me, just so there is a rule.
Just tell me what it is and we'll abide. Yes, sir. And I've seen more players breaking from just a little inside the edge of the break box than in past years.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if they've figured out a better way to make that wing ball or.
I think really what it is I think they get more ball action, or they feel like they do anyway,
Okay.
for the cut, where the cue ball comes across. So I don't think it's the wing ball. I think it's more the 1 ball that they're playing when they move it towards
Yes,
the middle.
sir. Yes, sir. I said wing, but 1.
Neuhausen in that same push-out predicament.
Is he looking to see if he sees an edge?
Yeah, he's looking at what if I kick it here? What do I have? So if he goes ahead and kicks at it, it'll be a real light speed. You want to make sure he can clear the 5 so he gets a rail at this light speed. And it was a calculated risk. He lost on this risk, but he was going to have to take a chance at some point.
Yeah, I figured that his push position would be just as bad as where he was, so go ahead and try it now. Unfortunately, he left that window. The 4 sitting on the 8 just going to have to get the back side of it or play a defense from the top. Uh-oh. Did not get the pull he wanted on that.
Well, he bent the cue ball just a little bit more than he anticipated and tucked in behind the 9.
Yep. Good news is he can jump. Bad news is he has to jump.
Yeah.
He might prefer to kick at it. I don't know. Wow. If that was his intention, that was pretty sporty. He had to bend that off the rail to catch the 3 full and let the cue come across behind the 4. That was pretty well executed.
He's looking at the 2-rail kick. So if we can grab the overhead real quick. Got it. This route here. And if he hits it heavy, the 3 comes down table. But if he hits it thin, the cue ball comes down table. So you have a chance to get separation.
Right.
This is a negative expectation shot. And the way you base it is always, how do I get to the 3rd rail here from where we're at? So this is going to be, he's going to need to be right about in here. Well, bad coaching, Wilson.
He actually hit below the diamond, and you spotted above the diamond. So you were right. You were right. Don't worry, Mark. You were good.
Never take personal responsibility if you want to be a pro. So you blame your coach or the table or the weather.
There was something on the table, promise.
Right.
Did you see that funny turn? Yeah. I don't see any issues with the table now. I would think Lee Vann would be out from here.
That particular skill we were talking about, that 2-rail kick, that's something that comes up playing 15-ball rotation. And the Filipino players play this for their existence, for their eating. And so they're wicked good at that little type of a thing. They feel that. And tables vary. It's not just a static thing.
Right.
But once they play so much pool, their stroke repeats. And once they play a few racks on your table, they'll be able to kick better than you can on your table. And they also have better speed control on your table, just due to the consistency of their delivery.
Right. I always have to measure it out for the 2-rail kick shots. And it's, as you said, every table is a little different, but at least it gives me a good feeling of this is the general area that I want to hit, and okay, based on what I felt with this table. So it becomes a feel after that.
Yeah. And those judgments are always predicated off of your primary practice table, because otherwise you have nothing. You don't have a baseline. So.
Nope. And another good baseline is your lag speed. If you can get that down so that you know 1 rail back gets you that far, you then know how hard you need to hit it to get around the table.
Right.
And as you said, if you can win the lag, you win 53.6% of the time.
56.4.
56.4.
Well, that's not winning the lag. That's the first game. Win the first rack.
Okay. Nice speed. Just get to the middle above it.
So smooth. He does it like the least amount.
Yep.
And that's what aids consistency. When you start moving that cue ball long distances with side spin, and then you start mishitting the pocket, meaning that you still pocket the ball, but you hit it thick or thin. Now your speed, and it oftentimes compounds, and now I thought he missed that.
I thought he scratched when it first come off that rail.
He overcut it a little bit, so he didn't get back as far as he intended.
Bad things happen when you let the cue ball go.
3-1 is our score. There's a good look at the Outsville racking template. The Accu-Rack. They're always improving them, and they've always been good. Slightly better today. That's what I swear by.
We've got several at the pool hall I shoot at. That's what we use when we're playing without the wood rack.
Well, you might as well play with what the big boys use.
Exactly.
Right? So.
We don't typically put the 9 on the spot, but yeah, we do use the 2.
That's my primary objection to that rule is 9 on the spot. There's not one single person in the crowd that identifies with 9 on the spot. There's nobody here that plays that. So now we're alienating our fans. They don't get it. And most of them don't even notice. But
yep, that was what I was about to say. Most of them don't even notice that's how we're setting up the racks.
Right. And then the other part of it is these guys have gotten so good at the one on the side The reason to put the 9 on the spot was so it took away the wing ball. Well, now we're making the 1 ball just as off as we made the wing ball. So what have you really solved? You know?
Exactly. You gave a year of non-knowledge of how it was going to break, but now everybody's figured it out. So there's no difference. Will that one go by the 7? That is a good question. It might. It is very thin, but it might.
No, the 1 does go by the 7.
Okay.
This is deceptive up here.
Yeah, I had to look at the table. I think it will go just barely.
I used to look always at the telestrator, which is right in front of us, so when I wasn't sure, but this doesn't give you the same view that you get
Right.
from the other cameras. And you can see it just went in freely. It just wasn't even an issue. Good shot.
And notice how he went ahead and played the cue to where he needed to be. The lesser players, I should say, would have just babied that in because it might hit. I want to hit it soft. If you know the ball will go or you believe the ball will go, you need to play to the next object ball.
Now, is he drawing around the 6? Because it looks like if he goes forward, he's colliding into the 6.
Yeah.
So this would be...
Yeah, it looks like he is drawing. Yep.
He's going to get some giddy up on here. Just a little short. Yeah, this is ugly.
Yeah. What does he do from here?
Well, it may go by the 7. He may have enough room. I think he does.
Yeah, he's looking.
The 7 only has a piece of the pocket obstructed. No, he's not doing that. So he's playing a safety behind the 7 then.
Nice.
Oh, what a gorgeous shot. Gorgeous. Yeah.
That was nice.
Knowledgeable audience recognizes it, gives him a little applause for this well-played save.
And left it on the rail. You want to leave it against the ball or on the rail. Takes away a lot of your opponent's ability to get to the object ball.
Well, you can't warp the cue ball with backspin.
Right.
Well, we're like this. He's looking at drawing, trying to bend it around there. This appears like he's going too long, but no, he was able to shorten it up enough. And that good safety is going to earn him a good scoring opportunity here.
Yes, it is.
That's how you declaw the opponent, is to keep them in check by making them kick. And then it's not that these guys can't kick and hit it, not that they can't kick safe well, but it certainly takes away a lot of their advantage.
Exactly. If you control the cue, you control the table, and you control the game. They make it look easy.
Yeah. Now they play so much, they've got it down to a kind of a fine science.
Needs a bounce. They got it. Good job.
Yeah, perfect. And smooth. Kid's really smooth on his transition from backswing to foreswing.
Yes, it is.
When you see, a young person, sometimes they get a little flighty and they're not settled in, and they don't have the commitment to the shot. When you watch someone like this, no matter what he tells you, his confidence level, his body gives him away. And when you see him stay real focused and really fluid on the transition from backswing to foreswing on a tough shot, this is a person that's totally engaged and got it.
Yep. Expects them make the right shot every time.
Well, their body gives them away if they're nervous. Yeah,
yes,
you
exactly.
You'll even see it with elite pros. You'll see when they get a little bit flighty, they short circuit the backswing and jerk into the foreswing.
Yep. Nice.
Got a little flat here.
He got a little flat.
So, meaning he's pretty straight in. Now he's going to make a decision. He's going to have to make a big stroke. Is this high inside? No, he was able to stun it. Boy, great recovery shot.
Wow.
Tremendous job.
Probably actually went a little farther than he meant to.
Oh, for sure.
Still very doable.
Very, very nice.
Nice, good speed. This is the one you want to be straight on.
You can accept being straight there. 3-2 is our score.
Angles are your friends, but straight on the last ball, 9 or 8 or 10,
Right.
that's a good.
I always get a kick out of it. Somebody will have a straight-in shot, and you'll see another league player say, yeah, put left on that if you want to go left. And then I just spin it on the middle of the table. How come it's not going left? It's just sitting there spinning. So if it goes to the rail, but there's people that think, it defies physics somehow, like that side spin grabs on the open bed of the cloth, and no, the physics of it just doesn't allow for it.
I like how he was checking the stack. Reminds me of Alex Paguline on the 10-foot table trying to check the stack, and he's like laying over the table to get to it.
Right.
He's a pleasure to watch play. He's always in a good mood, always playing with a smile on his face.
Yep. No, all the Filipinos are always happy every day. They wake up, they're singing karaoke, getting a cup of coffee, and laughing, high-fiving.
That's one trip I'd like to make, is to Philippines and play.
Okay, Neuhausen just to the right of center.
Yep.
Playing the 1 ball. 2 balls, the wing ball that might go in. Didn't. 1 ball was well short. So, I can see. You see how he got the cue ball down here? He didn't go through the center of the rack. So he hit him a little bit too heavy. That's why that 1 went so short.
Did not leave much of a starter shot for Levan.
There we got our premier billiards replay on the break.
A little soft touch defense. Yep.
Oh, nice job there. Super soft speed. Now, he didn't deny him access to it, but he certainly prevented the offense from being able to be played.
He really didn't want to touch the 7 coming back off the rail.
Right.
That would have taken away this kick that he left him.
Now, Neuhausen wants to play the 1 down to the 8, but he can't play it real firm because the cue ball can come off the high side of the 7 and go to the side pocket with this shot, too.
Yep.
Side pocket. Oh. Wow.
Wow. That was close.
Okay. So once it gets that close, it's completely out of your control. You've mishit it at that point, or didn't calculate for it. But nevertheless, there's nobody that knows the difference of hit the point on the side pocket or go into the side pocket. No one can distinguish that.
No. But he put the 1 definitely where he intended.
Exactly.
But the cue definitely kind of got away a little bit. Can he see the top edge of it, or is he going to kick?
Looks like he can see the, well, let's see.
God, that's hard to tell.
It's fine. I think he's going to the, okay, no, he can't see it. He's going rail first if he can.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Okay, he's okay.
Again, got a rail.
Yeah.
2 artistic shots.
Little 2-railer again.
Well, the 3's tangled up. So you got that going for you.
Yeah.
And the 2 is tangled up until he hits this 1.
So he wants to probably hit the top side of it and come up, because any energy he hits on the back side of that 1 into the 2 stays, or the 1 will stay based on that. But he's going the other way. Is he going to spin off that side rail? Wow.
He's looking at it. I don't know if he can get in behind it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's looking at, let me grab the overhead real quick. He's looking at here, and hit this 1 down table and have the cue ball. But you got to get a rail, so that's going to tear out that 2 ball on this if he hits it properly. So he ended up having to just kind of go with brute force and hope, just because of the power of that defensive play that Levan played.
He got her decently, but Levan can see enough of the 1. He can control the defense, maybe put it behind the 3-6, put the cue behind the 3-6.
And this is, primarily play the 3-6, you do want to be mindful the one ball doesn't get up in front of the side pocket.
Right.
So you have to. That's all based on the thickness that you hit this one. A lot of ways to get the cue ball over here. What a gorgeous shot.
Very nice.
Look how he tucked that away. There's not going to be an easy one-rail escape
No,
here.
it's not. Adding bridge over the 3 to make it interesting.
Yeah, he's looking at the 2-rail route, I believe. So now this one, because you're jacked up and it's going to have top spin,
Yep.
you're going to have to hit well below the side pocket, on the same side of the side pocket that he's on now.
Yeah, just below the 3rd diamond.
Not that far, I don't think. But you're going to masse a little bit doing this, so at soft speed, you're not going to blast this.
Yeah, just below it. Yeah, and he missed. So you were right. He needed to hit higher up.
Okay, now that 3's in a hideous position, and with ball in hand, he may choose to play position for the 2-9 combination just because
Yep.
that getting that 3 loose is going to be tough. The other choice, he can also play a safety right here, get that cue ball lodged back where he had it in between the 3 and 6.
I think he's looking at setting up for the 2-9 combo.
Well, they're probably equal in difficulty, and if you're going to play, you might as well play a winning shot as opposed to a safety.
Exactly.
Try to get a perfect shot for a safety. So that's why he measured up where he wants to be on this combination. And once again, combinations come up all the time in 15-ball rotation. Where 9-ball, these rarely come up. So you play 3 of these per game in 15-ball rotation. In 9-ball, you'll go the whole set, maybe play 1. So you're never as comfortable playing it because you don't get the exposure. Now, that being said, I would say 50-50.
Yeah, that's probably a good guess, yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly not even close to a 100% shot.
No. A little odd angle and a little distance between them.
Oh, drilled it right in the heart. Stayed down, got still, got through the ball. 4-2 is our score.
Very nice.
Yeah, that solved all that problem of dislodging the 3 and
Yes.
trying to get position and hoping everything works out. And you don't put things on the side rail.
Like you said, the defense was as difficult as the combo, so go for the offensive and try to get the win.
Danny DiLiberto, he used to say this. I've said it before too, but don't lose playing a phony safety. It is so true. Meaning if you're gonna lose, go down shooting. Don't play something that's an iffy safety and then,
Right.
well, I didn't get it and you lost. Here you had a chance to win.
Yeah, and commit to it. Don't try 2-way. Like play that 2-9 combo with the thought of burying the 2 or the cue.
Mm-hmm.
Commit to making the 9. And
Yeah,
give yourself that opportunity to win.
that is a great point of that commitment thing. Don't just do it because you think it's right. You have to really believe in it, and you can see, based on his stroke, he believed in that shot.
Exactly. Put him in the position he desired and made it happen.
Six ball of wing ball, 1 on the head, and the 1 just short. The 6 ball must have gone in. I was looking at the 1, so he did make the wing ball. Not an easy opening shot, but I do expect him to play offense from here.
3 to the 4 doesn't look too bad, and that's the only real difficulty I see on the table.
Well, this 1,
Well, the opening shot,
Yeah.
as you said, but after that,
I think he'll float around the 8 here rather than try to pinch it. He'll float around the 8 and come
Right.
at the 2 that way, 2 cushions.
right.
Okay, great shot. Great shot. He's wishing it would stop before it got to the rail, which it did.
Yep. A little steeper angle than he meant to get leave, but he should be able to work it around. But this doesn't give him an easy way from the 2 to the 3 to the 4. The straighter shot, if it had stopped sooner, would have made it a lot more simple for him. Still, 8-19 Fargo. I like his odds.
And he's making up his mind. Now he's going to stun it across. Wow.
Nice.
Gorgeous, and preserved the angle to get onto the 4. He got a lot accomplished with that shot.
Yes, he did. He left a nice angle to drift up for the 4.
When you watch Lee Vann play, I've always noticed this. He'll cue near the center of the ball and then on the last stroke dip it down, so he surprises you sometimes the route that he ends up going, and it was calculated. That's just his style.
Yep. Somebody else, one of the matches, you said the same thing. They line up for center ball and then they actually move to the shot.
Gorse does it too. And it's okay. It's not the way you teach it because it's complex and you have to be able to repeat. But if you play 10 hours a day, you don't have to do it orthodox. You can do it other ways. It's just,
as long as it's, like you said, repeatable. If you can do it every time consistently, then it works for you.
If you're not playing 10 hours a day, don't even think about it.
No. Learn to hit it where you're aiming. Don't adjust in mid-stroke. I would miss the ball. I can't do that. I've got to be focused on where I want to hit the cue, left, right, top, whatever, as I get down, and then change the view to the object ball and go.
You're adding complexity.
Yeah.
Isn't pool hard enough already? Why should we?
Yeah. I like
Just that nice little, just get the most out of almost nothing that you can get. Beautiful. Yeah, this would be a big break and run out here. This would be the second break and run out of the set. They'll give him a 3-game lead now.
It puts a lot of pressure on your opponent.
Well done. Crafted another nice run out. Lee Vann now playing at a 927, which is above world class. Neuhausen playing at an 857, very respectable and pro caliber, 850 and above. And there you get a look at the stats. 38 balls pocketed for Corteza, 18 pocketed for Neuhausen. That's the differential that you need to look at.
That's a 9-18 over a 2-rack spread, and he's got a 3-rack lead, so that's about right.
Yeah, and every 9th ball is a 9 ball, so
exactly.
that's how you can figure it.
A little extrapolation there now.
Right.
9-18, yep.
It's just like this in Team USA this year in the Moscone Cup, lost by 22 racks, I think. And they pocketed, I have the stats somewhere, but like let's say they pocketed 460 balls in the Moscone Cup. Team Europe pocketed 632 balls. There was like a 148 ball differential. There's the bulk of your 22 games that you're behind right in there. How many more balls were made? 1 ball? No.
That was a blast at the Moscone Cup.
Oh, did you go?
Oh, yeah. We were there.
Oh, that's fun.
We actually had one of the refs, 2 of the refs from over in England sitting behind us, and just listening to them yell for their team and yell at ours was fun, just to listen to that accent behind you. It was nice, and he was actually a pretty nice guy. We had a good conversation. And I've seen him ref several of the matches over there, including some of the snooker matches. He's going for this, or he's playing safe?
I think he's playing it.
Wow. Oh, he did play deep.
Totally play safe.
A little rub helped him. I think he might have left the back edge, so Lee Vann can come back around and play defense.
Now, it's still pretty new cloth here, so even the 1 ball up this high, if you make a solid impact, you can still get the kick and stick. When the cloth is broke in, like in most pro rooms when you play, you're not going to be able to hold enough topspin to get that to really bite when it's up that far from the rail.
I was thinking he could hit the right side of it, come 2 rails back up above the 7, 2, and 8.
Looks like that's what he's playing.
Oh, wow. He banked it and trying to put the cue behind the
Man,
4.
what a nice effort that was to bend that cue ball out of that
Yes.
scratch.
Wow.
And while it didn't turn out perfect, he did a lot with that shot.
Yeah, he did. Goodness.
Do you think Neuhausen can see enough of this to pocket it? I don't.
I don't either.
Okay.
I think he's got to be very mindful of the scratch because he's going to pull it into the 5.
Or maybe mindful of pocketing the 5 accidentally, too.
Yeah, that could happen too.
So he's banking it to his left with draw. Oh, he had the, okay, better yet. That was good.
Yeah. From that position, that's when you will take.
Yeah.
Did not leave him an offensive opportunity. Definitely left him a defensive. A couple options here. Probably just going to nibble the 1 and drift down behind the 3. Or would you put the 1 behind the 4? Go to this left rail behind the 3.
I think that's pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
All that soft roll close like this. So you got to really be spot on. Yeah.
Oh, hey. Yeah,
He
they
played
did have
the
the
6.
offensive.
He played the billiard. The safety was so hard for him that there was no certainty. So, and you could see how comfortable he played that
Yes,
shot.
he did. I didn't see the shot, let alone play it
Right.
safely.
Wow. Good control there to pick up exactly the right angle here to get on the 3. That was always going to be the problem, was 2 to the 3.
Right. He just needed to get above the target line, and he did.
Very
Just
good.
barely. Which, I mean, that's what you wanted.
And he made it look so simple, but there was a lot to that shot.
Yes, it was. Just enough top English to get it to bite and roll, not enough to kill it.
And if you get thin on that, if you go another 8 inches, now that's still a hardship to get on that. So he laid it right in where it needed to be to comfortably get the rest of the balls here.
Yep. I believe he's going to be adding another rack to his tally here shortly. Let's get it on by. And he did. Nice. The speed on these tables, it always looks like it's going to come up short. It just kind of keeps matriculating down.
Yeah. Is this a 2-cushion shot? Yeah. It's right in between. No, he's good.
Yeah.
I don't think he can play like a stun to the side rail. I think it's too flush. So I think he'll just kill it out there. It'll still trickle a little bit toward. Now he's going forward. Interesting. Gonna have to go around the 9. Back up. He's got a little bit better angle than he would have had he just drifted to the side rail or towards the side rail. So got something done, but he had to move the cue ball a long ways to get just a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
It's always that kind of weighing of the value of one part of it versus the risk of the other part of it.
Right. Sometimes you need that inch just to be able to work the table, so you've got to let the cue ball travel. And sometimes you can get away with just letting it be a little tougher shot now because the next shot's in line.
And that's what a 819 Fargo looks like right there.
Yes, it is.
Pretty darn good.
I like the way that when they're shooting, if you watch the pros when they shoot a ball into the corner, if they've got any angle, they're going to pull the cue to the opposite corner to make sure they don't get a slide, they get it firmer, and they come out too, and you're not going to scratch. You take the risk away. Whereas if you tend to hit it with just top, those sides suddenly become big.
Right. Yeah, don't I know?
Yeah.
If you ever said, I'm going to give you 10 tries to scratch on the side here. Yeah, but it seems like it's 50-50 in the match.
It does. Good night. How do you get the cue to fall into that side pocket at that angle? And yet you do.
I feel like it was something almost mathematical. If the 9-ball hits the corner pocket, then the cue ball wants to go to the side. It just feels like it.
Yep.
Well, that was a big one there. 6-2. That's a 4-game lead. So for Neuhausen to win the match, he'd have to win 7. The maximum he could give up is 2 more games. So he'd have to win 7 before VANN won 2.
Mm-hmm. And that's not unheard of. I mean, Corteza has won 6 versus 2.
Sure.
So
yeah.
You would rather have it your odds
Right.
the other way. So yeah.
When something went in, was it the wing ball and the 1 ball?
Wow.
It's kind of a funny dynamic there. The difference, let's say the VANN didn't capture that game. Well, now the score is 5-3, and now we're but 6-2. That's much broader.
Yes, you're still right in there.
Oftentimes, you hear people talk about the alternate the break format and blah, blah, blah. And, you get behind, you can't come back. Well, that's not true, because if that was the case, then you can never get ahead either.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but there is a psychological aspect that kind of gets you beat down a little bit, like, it's going to be so hard, and he gets every other break. But Pat proved that it's still the top ACCUSTATS wins the match, no matter what. So regardless of what format you play, it's whoever shoots the highest total performance average.
I think there are players that prefer winter break because they get a better rhythm. But other than that, I don't agree. I agree with you. It doesn't seem to matter much. Where's he going with the cue? Okay, he's going to be good. Wow.
Nice. Tidied right up on that. Got just a hint the wrong angle, though. He could have landed an inch earlier. Would have been a happier time.
Yep. I think he'll just drift forward so
He might play this in the side just to avoid.
So? Oh, yeah, he is.
Very good. Yeah, he's a master craftsman. He doesn't miss a trick. He gets every little fragment he can get and barely hit the ball. Right? Barely hit it. When you watch, people that don't play as much pool, they're much cruder with that. They're moving that cue ball and letting it around and stuff.
And then they complain, well, how did I scratch? Because you let the cue ball go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beautiful shot.
Very. He got on the right side so he can get above the 7.
He knew there's a chance he might rub the 8 there. There's no way to distinguish that. But he also knew that he was going to still be free to shoot the 6. As it turned out, he couldn't have gone any better. He's going to float this in, soft speed, economy of motion. That contributes to consistency, and that is winning.
Yep.
Just going to roll ahead here and play the 8 in the side. Beautiful.
Very nice.
He's crafted it where it's just going to be just a little bit of roll, maybe come across, play the 9-ball in the corner pocket where he's standing now. Or maybe he can stop it there. Maybe he is straight.
I think he's just going to stop it.
Oh, great. Better yet.
Let's move into the cue.
Third break and run out of the set at a most inopportune time for MORITZ Neuhausen. And that expands the lead 7 games to 2.
949 TPA. That's going to win you a lot of games.
You're not going to lose many matches from there.
No. In the Bigfoot Challenge, I believe both players finished above 900, but
are you talking about the last match filler?
Yeah, the filler.
They played 900 regularly in their sets, which is remarkable. But in the final one, it was a 953 for Labutis. and like a 870.
Okay, I looked
something.
away.
Yeah, it was right up there.
Yeah, I thought it was
that's 10-footer too, by the way.
Yeah, on the 10-foot, I was going to say, I thought they both were at 900 at one point on a 10-foot table. That is just amazing.
Yes. No, they both were, but at the end, that just came down just a
Just
tick.
a tad.
But
Okay.
he really didn't play bad.
No.
Filler, just Labutus played flawless.
Yes, he did.
Very impressive. All right, the 7's the wing ball, the 1 on the head. The 1 and the 7 both went in, and Snowball got loose.
Yeah, he did.
All right.
Needs to take advantage of this and run this out and put a little package together.
Get his arm limbered up. This is a nice way to come to the table.
Yes, it is.
2 balls off the table, ball in hand, everything out in the open. There's no clutter.
And like you said, he's got the experience to settle in and make this happen.
Mm-hmm. Lee Van is 45, and Neuhausen plays like he's 45. Yeah, imagine 21 years old and be able to play like this, and then you give him a few more years here to see where he goes. It'd be fun to watch.
Same thing with Tyler Steyer. He's not that much older than he's 780,
Yeah,
790, somewhere in there.
Well, let's see. Tyler's going to be 30. He's right at 30.
Oh, that's right. He
Yeah.
is a little bit. He looks much younger, doesn't he?
Well, let's see. Tyler and Skylar are the same. So, and they were both born in 94.
Wow.
So, what is that?
That'll be 30 this year. Yeah.
Okay.
Or 31 this year. You're right. One of these days I'll get the math right.
There's a reason you're here.
Yeah,
It's not for your math expertise.
It's not math.
Right?
Two rails back to the 8. Nicely done. And I like how he didn't try to pull it below the side pockets. Take them out of the equation. Just stay at a comfortable spot. He knows he can make it from there. It's simple to get to the 9, so stay down, stay smooth. Nice.
Beautiful. Okay, good. Take advantage of the stretch on the break. 7-3 is our score. I'm going to tell you a little story. In 2012, Tyler and Skylar came to Lindenwood University to see about becoming a part of the very first Lindenwood University billiards program.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And so they're good kids, and I knew them, but anyway, not like I did. And Lindenwood University has been a school since, this is remarkable, 1827.
Wow. I did not know that. That's
And that was as far as the
amazing.
U.S. had been settled in 1827 was St. Charles, Missouri. Anyway, so there's a finishing school, and it's all girls' school up until the late 1980s, so it's still predominantly a girls' school. But they went co-ed in the late 80s. So anyway, Skylar and Tyler come, and I get to meet them, and my wife's baked cookies, and we have a training session. We're working on their stroke, and then we go around campus, and they meet the admissions people, and, we've had a practice and played some games, all fun. And so at the end, I got to know them a little better, and I said, Skylar, if you're going to go to college anyway, this could be a good fit for you. Now, it's still expensive to go there, even though I can give you a little scholarship assistance. But if you're going to go anyway and you want to be part of pool, we got a great thing. And Skylar, I've never really said these words before. I think pro pool is your best chance. And it's worked out for both of them.
Yes, it has.
I can see Skylar. He's just looking at the girls, and he wants to play pool. He's not even going to know where his book is at. Where
Nope.
Skylar's studious enough. He might pull it off. Skylar's laughing. He knows it, too. They're both good kids, though.
They really are.
Real credit to the sport.
I thought Skylar did a pretty good job with the Moscone Cup captain player.
Yeah.
thought he handled it pretty well. Yeah.
A lot of extra demands there.
Not a good thing for Moritz breaking dry. I think he left a shot. Oh, he didn't. But he left a good defense.
Man,
Wow.
see that shot right there? For anyone at home, replay it. Set the balls up on your table exactly like that, and show me that you can get behind the 2 and hold the 1 ball over here like that. Just hit that. It's so hard to do. Move both balls like that. And once again, 15-ball rotation comes up all the time.
Yep. And he put a little right spin on that to get around the 8 ball to hit it where he wanted to hit it.
And give the cue ball a little speed to get over behind the 2 also.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Artistic, beautiful. And it looks subtle, like, oh, that's just where it goes. And that's not where it goes.
No. I thought he was going to get a good rub, but I think it's going to end up with a shot.
Might be a defensive shot only.
Yeah.
But still a shot. He can hit it cleanly.
Yeah, he can clean it,
do
exactly.
something. Well, banking the 1 ball straight down the table and back towards the 9 and letting the cue ball get down to the other end of the table around the 8, that's not a bad move.
Mm-mm.
At the worst, you're just going to, that's what he's doing. Nicely crafted. Wouldn't have minded if he got past the 9, though, but he's still okay.
Yeah, married up to the 5, so he's okay.
Even if it's open, it's still hard from that end rail to get on the 2. And at least you're making them earn it.
Yep.
And that was the conservative play, that particular shot. Everything else had carried with it way too much risk or not enough value.
Mm-hmm. And I think, like you said, I think he was more worried about controlling the cue, putting it on the rail, so where the 1 ended up was okay.
Yeah, he knew it was good. He knew there was a chance he's going to take you off some of those balls he's banking it towards. So, but also if he gets the cue ball good, then it's hard even if he leaves it open. Yeah.
Did it go?
He did.
Wow.
I don't think he was playing it.
I don't think so either, but he will take it. Well, with that roll, he might have a good opportunity to pull one back again.
Yeah. When things like that happen, I hate it when the opponent always goes like this with his hand up like, oh, I'm
Do you
sorry.
really?
I hate it. You know why? Because we're playing 9-ball, and it's going to happen the other way.
It does.
And that's just what it is when you lose that way. So there's no need to apologize if you want to take that. If you really are sincere, let's play straight pool.
Yep.
Or something like that where there isn't hardly any luck. And ESPN came along and said we got to have fast action, lightning quick, the people's attention span. We want luck and good shot making, blah, blah, blah. That's the game we're playing, so get over it.
Yep.
It also kind of it's kind of almost slightly arrogant, like, oh, I normally never. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
I
not
never
really
thought of
me.
it that way, but yeah, I guess it could be. I think Ronnie O'Sullivan in snooker, he never raises his hand because he knows it's part of the game.
Yeah, right. It's just going to happen.
So he just carries on.
Of course, in snooker, you really don't fluke many there.
No, it's an oddity, but it does happen.
Nice shot there. Stayed down, got through it.
Timeouts.
I love his delivery. It's so fluid and so smooth that he stays still and gets through. And even after he hits the ball, it's 1,001. He's still in place. The head hasn't moved. 1,000, almost 2 seconds.
Yep.
Good judgment there. Now try to avoid the 7. Go ahead and utilize the 7.
So use it as a backstop, help you stay in position.
Overhit it just a little bit.
I think you wanted to be a little flatter on that 6. But
Yeah.
should be okay. Run it up and take the cue back and forth.
Love the way he's looking the line, the shot line. He's not just taking it for granted because he knows this is an important shot here. Care with the entry into the shot, gets right on his head, right on the shot line while he's standing, and comes right on down that line. Look how pure he hit that ball.
Wow.
Really good.
Very good. And stayed in good position for the 7. Didn't try to do too much with the cue, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little on the wrong angle side, but he should be okay. Oh, wow. I thought he would just hold it.
And this will be just top spin, 2 cushions.
Yeah. Looks like he's going to put it inside, maybe just go 1 back down.
Yeah, they don't like to use it. They don't want to be using side spin on that. That's a missable ball. There's no reason for it. Just let the cue ball go where it wants to and ration out the speed.
Let the table do the work, yeah.
There, you can see this guy is a solid customer right here.
Very
You know,
nice.
the match did not start off the way that he wanted, okay? But now just look at the TPAs.
I was about to say they're both at 900, over 900, 918 to 919.
And the guy trailing is shooting a higher TPA. So, I mean, you know he's not backing off. And when you come to these tournaments, you can't hope to just go through there unscathed. You're going to have to steal a match from behind, or you're not going to go deep in one of these. You don't get to just go through. That's not how it works.
And just showed the 56 to 34 balls pocketed, but there's 7 to 4 errors, which has let Neuhausen get back in it.
Well, he definitely has earned his games. They haven't been given to him.
No, they have not. That was a very nice out.
It was. If he could get a little something going from the break now.
Yeah.
Right?
He's broke dry all 3 times he's broke, hasn't he?
I know he broke dry the last time. I haven't kept track of that. And then, well, here's the difference. They've basically, it's been a gunfight on the racks where they both get to play. VANN has 3 breaking runouts.
Yep.
You know, Moritz didn't even have a chance in those games.
It's hard to win when you're sitting in the chair.
That's the only way to win these matches. You have to deny access to the table. Look at this good break. Yeah, he didn't get much of a shot here.
No, he didn't.
Foul on the referee here. The referee has fouled the 9 ball. He's smiling.
Somebody was playing last night, and there was a hair on the cue ball, and his opponent said, just pick it up and get it off. I don't care. Set it back down.
Right.
A little different when you're on the TV table into the ref. A little more pressure.
One time Jeff Carter was playing Siegel, and Jeff's not the most pleasant guy to compete with. And Mike says, hey, Jeff, there's a hair on the cue ball. And Jeff doesn't even respond. And so then Mike leaned over and he went like this and kind of blew it. Jeff called a foul. And the Siegel goes, what was you thinking? I was trying to blow it in the hole? Or
Really? Wow.
Siegel's kind of high-strung and just wanted to, it probably wouldn't even affected the shot. It was annoying to his eye.
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
It was funny. I'll never forget that. You think I was trying to blow it in the hole?
Wow.
Yeah,
In
that's a
between
good
those,
shot.
that's very
Very
nice.
good.
And the
Yeah.
cue on the rail.
Made the most of that.
Yes, he did.
This is hard to play anything but hit it. Not much of a kick safety opportunity here. And if you kick off the closest end rail, it's hard to get separation between the balls because the cue balls always go in the same direction here.
What is he going to do? Just nibble on it and try and take the cue
No,
off?
he was trying to hit it with velocity to try to get separation. And in turn, it cost him hitting the 3 ball.
Yep.
So Neuhausen has earned ball in hand here. Pretty good time to get ball in hand. Because the rest of the layout plays pretty nice.
Is there ever a bad time for ball in hand?
Well, if the balls are tangled up, no. But I'm just saying this is a real, because the 3 was going to be a problem. If you, like, say he hit it and left it something like this and left the cue ball down the table.
I agree.
Where here, once he takes care of the 3, everything's
Open.
straightforward, yeah.
Yep.
No, ball in hand is your friend.
Get on up. Get on up. That's okay.
That's perfect. Nice 3-well route. Very safe and conservative coming around to the center of the table.
Nice.
Yeah. Hello, center of the table. That's right where I wanted to be. Now you're going to go tight into the corner, but I don't expect that. I think he's going to go 2 cushions to play the 6 to his left where he's standing now in that corner.
Yep.
Although he's queuing low, like he is going to go through the, in between the 7, 9, yep.
Wow.
Good control, very smooth.
Yep. Let's be sure and leave an angle to get from that 7 to the 8.
And if worst comes to worst, he can just stop it there and get there. Looks like he's going to just pull it back a little bit. He's pretty straight. He'll just come back a foot, 1.5 feet.
Yep. Came back about a diamond.
How many inches is a diamond apart?
I knew this at one point. I think you told us in one of your classes,
Oh,
but
did I?
it escapes me now.
9-foot table, 14.
14. I was going to say 13. What's over 7 foot?
Well, caught me. I don't know. But I don't like 7 foot to begin with. So.
I knew that. They're good for the night out having fun with friends
No, I get
and
it.
leagues.
I get it.
That's
Yeah.
one reason I like, before I say that, big win from Neuhausen to get within 3 games.
2 games.
2 games went back. Just inching his way back in.
Oh, he has never backed off throughout
he
the
has
whole
not.
match.
Look at
this
that TPA,
Yeah.
935. That's pretty good. That was the one of my hometown pool halls has 24 tables. 16 of them are 7s, 8 of them are 9s. So when I want to play serious and learn and work on my game, I'm on the 9-footers or on my house on my 9-footer. Or if I'm out with friends or during league, I've got the 7-footers. So it's a nice mix.
Yeah. I always say it like this: the 7-footer, that's the game of pool. The 9-footer, that's the sport of pool. You know.
There you go. Rob, the owner, has a 10-footer at his house, so that he's afraid of no table.
He came to my house where I had a 10-footer, and then I took him to Durbin's Q shop, and he has a 10-footer. And Rob went home after that week and said, "I'm getting a 10-footer."
Yes, he did. He actually did design his house so that he could fit the 10-footer in the pool room. It's a nice setup.
Oh, beautiful. All right, 7-5.
See if he can get a good break.
5 on the wing, 1 on the head. Those are the 2 balls that most likely go in.
Mm-hmm.
He got the 1 ball in.
And the 8.
And he has a shot. Okay.
Long shot, but yeah, he actually has an offensive shot, unlike the last break where he had to play a beautiful defense.
Killer safety. Yeah, he ended up getting ball in hand and running out. So that was a good safety.
That one will be on the positive side. Ledger for your TPA.
Now, he'd like to go between the 7 and 9, I believe.
Yeah.
And if you were to err, you'd rather bump the 7 as opposed to the 9.
Yeah, because that would at least leave you on the good side with the 3. If you hit the 9, you're going too high. You got no shot.
Very smooth cueing action.
Bump the 7.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful.
And the angle's fine to get to the 4, so just stay smooth and stay straight.
Mm-hmm. And not like Lee Van hasn't been here before, but it was just moments ago it was 7-2.
Exactly.
Right? So, you say, well, if you're playing someone less than Lee Van, it really turns the pressure around. He's used to living in this. He knows the guy can come back 7-2. He's not going to back off. But it's upsetting for others that think, I was ahead 7-2 and now I might lose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you're playing this level, you know your opponent is just as capable of running a 10-pack, 9-pack in this instance as you are. So you got to be in the game from start to finish. Look how easy he hit that.
Yeah, he didn't overhit it. He wanted to make sure he got it down. Well, one of these two, playing this format, the one guy could win 9-0, and then the very next set, the other guy can win the set.
Exactly.
Okay? Now, when you play amateur pool, where you get so many more innings per, whoever wins 9-0 the first set will win every set after that. It'll
Pretty
never
much.
be. But here it's just a few innings, a handful of innings. And these matches, that's not a long run, a race to 9 for pros. Golly, so smooth.
Yeah, I really
Great job.
Really like that angle he left himself. He's going to get up a little short, but I like that natural 2 rails back to the 5.
And he was so smooth and floated that transition from backswing to foreswing there. He's another one. Got that fluid thing like a Phil Mickelson golf swing or something. Just beautiful to watch.
I don't blame him there. He got
Fantastic
Wow.
control. He moved that cue ball a long ways. He still maintained the upper hand in this rack.
control the cue, control the table, control the game.
Yeah, that's great.
2 rails. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's what he's down to.
Almost like a one pocket shot.
What a nice hit.
Wow.
He's to get some help from the clutter, and I don't think he quite got it.
I don't think he did.
I think
It's hard to tell.
Hard to tell. He's close. I think
It's
he
close.
can make the 5.
I think he can too. Now that I can look at the main table instead of the screen.
Right. And you see how deceptive this is? Okay, now watch. He'll be able to shoot this straight in.
Yep.
So when I said this, I meant our telestrator in the booth.
Yes.
For those of you at home wondering what is Mark talking about.
What is he talking about?
Yeah, once again. I'm sure I leave you that way often.
He's looking to put this inside. So he can go all the way up, rail and back. Or is he going to draw
I'm
it?
not sure about
draw
that.
it back into. Yeah, he might draw it back into the middle of the
He
table.
might be able to just, he's drawing. Okay. Really zeroing in.
Beautiful.
Look at that nice hit. Look at
Beautiful.
that nice hit. Thump the heart of the pocket, cue ball, put it where he would have if he had ball in hand.
Yep,
So
pretty much.
Pretty much a good position play.
Yep. So he can either just soft it or roll it across for the 9. He rolled it across and perfectly straight. I like perfectly straight on the last ball. Makes me feel better.
So, another game earned from the break right here. Even though it wasn't a clean break and run, it was controlled the table with a good safety, forced leave in into a shot, returned a shot. Moritz capitalized. There's your break performance average right there.
Wow. 600. 500. Not bad, but
A little low, yeah.
I'd be curious to know how many of those breaks they had an offensive shot. I know we did on 3 because he had broken ran.
Mm-hmm.
And then this last rack, he had an offensive shot because he only played the defense at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 5 out of 13 racks.
Right. Exceptionally good match. Both players over 900 late in the match.
Mm-hmm.
We call this high performance pool.
I call it entertaining.
Yeah, that too. I know we always get the best seat in the house.
Yes, we do. Appreciate you inviting me along for the ride.
You earned it. 8 ball on the wing, 1 on the head. 1 ball ranged in. The 8 ball going to hang up, it looks like. But, wow, good offensive shot here.
Yes, sir.
Now he can float that 2 ball in and be very soft.
So he wants to control that 2 and leave it where it's optimal. Because what do most players do? Hit it too firm and the 2 comes back to the bottom rail and you have no shot. So like you said, float it in.
Or you make it behind it.
Yes, but then you got to play your cue to the middle of the table so you have an option on the 3. Either way, got to commit to what you're doing. I'm gonna slow roll it, like you said. Just let that 2 tap the 8 in. Wow,
He was trying to make both.
Yep.
Yeah, he's disappointed. I was surprised that he went for it, just because it can end up like this.
Exactly.
It's hard to get back down on the 3 now with the accuracy you'd like to have.
Mm-hmm.
Guess he's going to introduce a little bit of left English to get around the 7 here.
Wow.
Really good.
Very
Really
good.
good shot.
Very good.
Really good. Shook his head side to side like, I'm glad that's over with.
Yeah. Whew. I'm surprised he didn't wipe his brow.
Yeah.
He's going to get to the back side of this 4 because I don't think it'll go in that bottom left corner. Yeah, I think he's looking to come off that side, this bottom, as we look at the table, sorry, the bottom side rail and put that, shoot the 4 where he was shooting the 2 and the 8. Nicely done. Wow. Just wants a little bounce. That's it. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Just a hint more angle than you would have really
Yeah.
enjoyed. Doable, however.
Yes, still doable. He'll just take the cue around that 5, shoot it in the top corner.
Yeah, this would just be straight topspin.
Mm-hmm.
Maintain super accuracy on the 4 because you're going to need it. Takes a glance at the shot clock. Wants to make sure he wants to play it this way.
I mean, he's got the 2-9 in the side combo laying there too. I don't like it, but maybe he likes that better. I don't know.
He can also play a defensive shot
True.
if he feels like he's going to maybe
Yeah, just
run the
push
risk of giving this away. But I think he's going to play the 4 with a rolling ball hit. No,
Oh.
he went defense. Control the cue ball.
Wow.
Tremendous shot.
Very.
Well, grab your jump cue. That's what we'll be seeing.
I was about to say, does he even have it out? But he does. It's laying against his case, so he knows he can use it. I think he just prefers to pick kick.
Okay.
And you kick like that, I guess so.
Didn't get blessed with a backdoor safety that time.
No. He kind of acted like he was trying to push it behind the 7, but I don't know. That's pretty ambitious to be able to go 2 rails, kick the backside, and no. You're going to put the cue behind the 7. He was just bemoaning the fact that it didn't get there. Bear down on this, and he should be out. Get this all tied up. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Something that was explained to me today, the shot clock, if you are down when it hits 0 and stay down and shoot, you don't catch the foul.
Right. Yeah, it's not a foul.
Yeah.
And the whole purpose of the shot clock is not to call fouls. In fact, I almost never remember an instance where we have.
I haven't either.
But it's to promote pushing the play forward.
Keep the pace up, yep.
This kid, I mean, doesn't do anything more than what has to be done, and it stays smooth. Coming back against VANN CORTEZA from 5 games back, that's doing something.
Yep. Heck,
He's never backed off. I don't remember him missing an open ball. I suppose he has, but I don't.
I don't think either one of them have missed an open ball. They might have missed a position, but I don't recall a missed ball either.
To make it look like this, you have to dedicate every molecule of your being. Pool has to be your lifestyle. It's not something you just practiced up a little bit and you got some talent and you can play like this. No, it's an everyday, ongoing.
It's your 8-hour job.
It's more than that. You go to bed thinking about it. You wake up, you've inhaled chalk. You've got chalk on your brow. I mean,
Blue fingers, yep.
yeah.
Got a player break now.
How about this? 7-7.
Unbelievable. Look at those TPAs. 924, 918. 7-7.
Oh, really good.
Really good.
Great stuff. Okay, our players are back. It's going to be a race to 2 from here.
Who'd have thunk it at 7-2?
Yeah, it didn't look like it was going to shape up like this at all.
No, this turned into a very, very good match.
Neuhausen has never backed off. He never portrayed frustration. Nothing. He just played his game the whole way through, which is the way to do it. You have to look at a match like this. You're not here to win or lose. You're here to put on a stroke performance. And how the balls go is how the balls go.
Yeah, you can't control it.
If you go out there and give this type of effort, you're going to win. The wins and losses take care of themselves. The makes and misses take care of themselves. So just give 100%. That's all you can do.
One of the first gentlemen I played, very good, Johnny Tona out of Huntsville, would always say, you can't control what's on the table until you get to the table. So you just sit, watch, enjoy, and when you get up there, make the best opportunity, make the proper stroke, make the proper shot.
Johnny played with the Balabushka Q. He owned the Rocket City Q Club.
Yep.
He was a pretty cool guy. We played some straight pool a few days.
I would play straight pool against him every day at lunch to 100. I think I beat him once. He missed at 96 on one day.
He played with all the greats of that era.
Yeah. He had some good stories. Kind of
One on
like
the
you.
head, 3 in the corner. That's what happens when you get older. One ball down, 9 ball down. There's a win. Now he's on the hill. Wow. Yeah. What a comeback. What is that, 6 games in a row?
Yes, it is.
All right, here we go.
Making sure he didn't foul. Wait till the ball stops spinning.
Oh, yeah, I would for sure wait. Yeah. Man, what a way to come back from your break.
No
Pop
kidding.
that 9 in on the break. Leave in. Look at this. He's just kind of sits there. His arms are folded. He's playing 9-18. The guy is not letting me ever shoot.
Yep.
But that's how Lee Van got ahead. And he also, that wasn't just a 9 on the break. He made the 1 on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So he's ranged in there pretty good on that.
Yeah, he's getting it dialed in. I think that's first time he's made the 1 on the side. Lead balls?
No. He's made it a few. He made both balls. He made the wing and the 1 a couple times.
Oh, did he?
No,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See the care he lines up that break with, and just the precision. It has nothing to do with the secret place or anything, but it has to do with the uniformity and consistency of how you hit this. On the side. Looks like he might have a shot at the 2. Not an easy shot, but a decent shot.
Uh-oh. Ken's got to work the same magic.
Hate to see him foul again.
Yeah, it's really. Oh, he almost did. Good catch, Ken.
Premier Billiards replay on the break. We'll get a good look from the boom camera here at that line to the 2 ball. Yeah, he definitely has a good shot.
Yeah. He's got a little window to get 2 if he just rolls forward between the 7 and 5 for that 3, but I think he'll be okay.
This is really, you have to look at this as like the winning shot.
Yeah.
If you make this and get on the 3, you're the favorite to go ahead and run out.
Usually the first shot after the break is the toughest to me.
Oh, yeah. It gets your momentum back and gives you that little bolster of confidence. Yeah, he really wants to measure this up. I don't blame him. Such a big shot.
Yes, it is.
And this is a great spot to get a good view of his skewing action for the people at home, where you see how smooth and fluid he is on that delivery, because this is a pressure ball here. That's a good view right there. You can see. Watch how it cue glides back and goes straight through.
Nice, good tempo, like you said, and it's gonna be. I think he's good on the 3. It's long, but he's good.
You want to play that pace because it allows him to kind of flow through the cue ball, so you don't stilt it or try to steer or guide. You want to have that swing, where you, almost like an underhanded toss type of a tempo.
Yep. The tempo he's most comfortable with. Yeah.
Now, after a big shot, the next shot's also very tough. It is. It's weird. It's like, even though it's a ball you can make, but there's the easy.
It's like, I made the tough one. I got to make this one. I mess it up.
Down, or you let down and think, well, I got this now that I got it right.
Yeah,
no,
that's
you
true
got to bring that back up, that energy back up on that ball right after that opening tough shot.
Got to keep that focus.
Now you're back in your rhythm. Now life is good. So it's a weird dynamic, however. Beautiful.
Yeah, Levan's got to be sick from 7-2 up, and didn't do anything really wrong.
No, there's nothing to be sick about. You can only give 100%. What more can I ask?
Yeah.
It wasn't like you got up there and hacked it around. This kid is such a complete player, and there's always things that happen on the last 3 balls when they get routine, so you're not giving it. But, boy, he does not let down on his intensity level throughout.
Every shot of equal importance.
Nothing general in his approach whatsoever. This is opening round action in the 9-ball event. We've had bank pool this week. We've had 1 pocket going on. Boy, what a performance this is, although he's going to have one last little blood tester here.
Yes, on the rail for the final ball.
What a classy break and run out there. The way he won that set. Yeah, fantastic. Leave in, nothing he could do about it.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
9-18 to 9-36. Neither one of them shot bad. Both of them shot outstanding.
Yeah, remarkable match. This has been an ACCUSTATS video presentation. Any rebroadcast or republication without ACCUSTATS express written consent is prohibited. That is our time for this time. So long for just a while.